which is how do we deal with this and how do we translate, and then there is nothing here which is preventing us from translating. And as it was said, this is something that I kept on repeating. I have been repeating this for the last 25 years and say, this is where we are heading. And this is, and when after September 11 I was asked, oh, you see, now we are, there are lots of suspicion, we are suspected not to be, I said, this is exactly what we have to do. What I said before, we have to go for it now, more even than before, because we have to be committed citizens. And when the people are putting a psychological pressure on you, try to prove that you're, I'm not going here to prove, I have nothing to prove, I belong to this country. This is my country, the starting point of ethics and applied ethics, and to be consistent between faith and public life is to feel at home. No sense of belonging if you always speak about them. Who is this them you are talking about? Them the non-Muslims? Then the Muslims that are in your side, because within the Muslim community you have Muslims and Muslims. As you know. My Muslims and them, the other Muslims. And sometimes it's my Muslims from my country of origin, and within my country of origin, my group, and within my group, the people who think like me. Divisions. And it's us versus them. This mindset is very problematic. This incapacity just to be able to say us, and to be, this is it, this is us in Canada. And this is where, under the political pressure, when, for example, all the rhetoric that you have someone here was a prime minister in your country, or what we had under the Bush administration, saying them, and speak about Islam, and building on this binary vision. They don't like our civilization, they don't like democracy, they. And they say, oh, I like Islam, it's a religion of peace. But the whole rhetoric was them. Who is this them you are talking about? We don't know exactly. Sometimes it's very much the violent extremists, and sometimes it's more the Muslims, and some, we don't know. But the point is not to know who is this them, it's just to use the words, them, us, them, us. And you come to some Muslims, and then they are colonized with their thinking. I don't like Bush, but I think like him. Us, them, us, them, us, them. And then the rhetoric is shaping a mentality, and the mentality is shaping an action, or an inaction, inactivity, passivity. This is something that we can see because we are under this pressure. We should do exactly the opposite of shaping these barriers, to speak about us and to be committed. And the starting point is this: we are at home. And when we are at home, to get this sense of belonging, it's exactly this: a sense of belonging in when my faith is marrying the public life of my society. If you ask me to be less myself in this public life, I won't get the sense of belonging. I won't. It's psychologically impossible. Psychologically, if I should be less myself to be more like you, it's over. But if to be us, every one of us could be she or he wants to be, that's fine. This is it. This is where we go. As long as we are not imposing. Because there is the second condition. Be who you want to be, but do not impose it on anyone. So these are the principles on which we have to build. And the starting point is a position of principle at home. And I mean it, at home. At home means that, as I'm always saying, you know, if you look at all the stories of the prophets in all the holy books, all of them, they were always having, you know, trouble with their people. And they still were saying, my people, me with you, us. You reject me, I will never reject you. Some of you are telling me out, I will stay in, and I say us. I'm here to reform this binary mentality, I'm here to reform this attitude, but I'm home. I'm not talking from outside. I'm not an outsider. I'm not an outsider within, or an insider from outside. I'm not. I'm at home. It's us that are building this society. And I care about our common future. And you know something that I'm saying, There's a book coming which is called The Quest for Meaning, Developing a Philosophy of Pluralism. It's all based on this. It's really to be able to say, you know, you start to, when you share hopes with people, you start to love them. You always love the people with whom you share hopes. Always. But we have to speak about hopes, not about problems. And we are constructing this ways of not being able to love, not able to respect and to listen. So here, just to come to an end with all this, to marry this, it's really the sense of belonging is central, is the starting point. It's shaped a psychology of being at home. And then we have to work on different fields. The first thing, which is quite important. Recently, I had a discussion at the BBC with someone who is he is leading an organization called Social Cohesion, and it's just putting us outside the realm of the Western society. And he was telling me, when you speak to, you have a double talk. When you speak to Muslims, you say brothers and sisters. Okay, that's fine. And when you talk to outside, you are speaking, you know, about citizenship, say, what's the problem? And I realized, I looked at him and said, okay, that's fine. You know, just yesterday when I was talking to politicians in this society, this was in Britain, I said, brothers and sisters in humanity. So you are my brother. Like it or not, you are my brother. The point is very important here. It's not only words. It's really something which is, we have to care about that. We speak about brothers and sisters in humanity. And by the way, when I'm saying this, some Muslims are saying, no, there is only two kinds of brotherhood in Islam. Blood or through Islam. Don't speak. I'm sorry. In Nawawi, when he was talking about لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخي ما يحبه لنفسه, no one is going to believe or complete his or her belief as long as he's not or she's not willing for his or her brother what she or he wants for himself or herself. He was saying this is also for al-ukhuwa al-insaniyya, so which is this human brotherhood. Beyond the fact that we are all coming from the same source, that we are all from the same family. Meaning by this that you look at the people, I'm not sharing your faith, you're not sharing mine, but I want the best for you. I want for you the best. I want for you to find the right way and to be happy and to be at peace. I want peace for you. Not the peace between us, but peace inside you. I want you to look for it. I don't know what is going to be your answer. I don't have to impose my answer onto you, but I can share with you the fact that we are in quest. Go ahead. Go. And if I can help you to go, I will help you to go. With one condition, I cannot impose my answer. The point here is this starting point, which is human brotherhood. The second thing, which is quite important coming with our ethics in facing public life, is to be able to say this, and at the same time, something that we have to come, and it's not only because it's the fashion now to speak about ecology and green issues, it's respecting the creation. Which is something which is in the critical, in the classical book. And when we come back, when I wrote the book on the Prophet, peace be upon him, when I wrote the book and was coming, one chapter, I allocated this on the way he was with nature, the way we have to treat animals, the way we have to treat fruit trees, the way we have to treat nature. This is so important. You love God, you respect trees, you respect nature, and don't come to say, I love God, and you mistreat nature. And to look at Muslims now living in the West, us here in the West, being able to be involved in all these discussions about global warming, about consumption, and the Muslims are completely absent, or almost absent of all these. It's as if it's not us. Yes, it's us. We are destroying the creation the same way as all the people. We are part of the process. We are part of the problem. And our faith is telling us how to deal with it in the public life. The way you eat, the way you drink, the way you treat animals, and not only with technicalities, say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, and that's halal. and you mistreat the animals, and just you come to